Hey, Richard Bryce here. In this video, I want to answer a question about eye dominance that I get quite a lot. As soon as people realize I work with the visual system, it's one of the things they ask me. And it's normally someone that's struggling with a particular stroke. So they've got maybe a great backhand, but their forehand is a little bit weaker and they can't seem to solve their timing problems or something like that on the forehand. So then they go, one of my eyes is dominant. Is the problem with my forehand because of my eye dominance? And I think a lot of where this comes from is talk about Federer. So Federer, as you know, very good player, keeps his head extremely still through contact, and apparently he's left eye dominant. So often right-handed players are right eye dominant. Federer is a right-handed player that's left eye dominant. So people have kind of postulated and talked about the reason that he keeps his head so still is because it allows his left eye to watch the ball on and off the strings, or something to that effect. Now, it's not that eye dominance doesn't do anything, it does. I think there's research showing that maybe you can process visual information 1/100th of a second faster with your dominant eye. And there's also, or there used to be some interesting research, I haven't looked into it recently, about baseball teams and professional baseball teams, that teams that have switch hitters, or the higher number of switch hitters, tend to be a little bit better. So a switch hitter is someone that is left-handed and right eye dominant, or right-handed and left eye dominant. So there's a little bit of research that shows that the teams that have more players that are switch hitters tend to do better in terms of batting. So it's not that eye dominance isn't a thing, but what I want you to understand is there are a lot of amazing tennis players on this planet, and every one of them has a dominant eye, but yet they can all hit amazing forehands and amazing backhands. So all of the professional players playing on tour, they are unbelievable players, great forehands, great backhands, and they all have an eye dominance. So if it's not causing them a problem, it's very unlikely that it is going to be causing you a problem. It just isn't. So the answer to the question is no. But then that does beg the question, what could be going on? Now, eye dominance is something that we have and we can't change, but there's a whole bunch of visual skills involved in playing tennis. And those visual skills you can have problems with, and they are more likely / very, very likely to be the reason that you're struggling on one of your sides. So we've got eye movements. We've got 6 different muscles that move our eyes in different directions, and those muscles are controlled by slightly different brain areas. So believe it or not, if I track a ball from right to left, it's slightly different brain areas to if I track it from left to right. So if you've got a really strong cross-court backhand, maybe you're okay tracking the ball from right to left, and you struggle on your forehand, maybe you struggle tracking the ball from left to right because the brain areas that deal with that stuff just don't work as well. And when I start to test tennis players, this is the sort of thing that we find. But that's just one category of visual skill. There's a lot of other different visual skills that are really important on court, like your ability to judge distance and depth, which is obviously key for timing. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with your visual system that might be the cause of your less than optimal forehand relative to your backhand. But the one thing that we know it won't be, in my opinion, is the eye dominance. So that gives us some good news. We can't change the eye dominance. We can work on all the rest of the stuff. So that's what you want to do. And if you'd like to learn more about it, I've created a masterclass that goes into a lot more detail about the stuff that I've talked about, so the eye movements in different directions, but some of the other visual skills as well. And the other thing that I do with that masterclass is I've got 3 different assessments that I'm going to take you through, because there are things that we can assess, and these are common problems that I find with tennis players, and often issues with these assessments that I'm going to take you through are the cause of the issues with either your forehand or the backhand if you're struggling with something. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll place the link down in the description. Feel free to check that one out. I'll also place a link up there so you can just click on that one and get hold of it that way. Hopefully you have found this video useful. If you were having that question in my mind, hopefully you'll be able to sleep easy tonight, not worry about it, and worry about all the other stuff that it might be caused by. If you've got any thoughts on what I've said, I'd love to hear them in the comments section, and I'll see you next time.